Hey Dodgers fans, the excitement around Los Angeles is off the charts. And today we are diving into some of the most electrifying updates coming straight from Major League Baseball. If you thought the offseason would be quiet, think again, because trade rumors and blockbuster possibilities are already shaking up conversations across the league. One name that has every fan on edge right now is Tarik Skubal. The back-to-back American League Cy Young Award winner is at the center of speculation, and rightfully so. We're talking about a pitcher at the peak of his abilities, just 29 years old, coming off a season where he dominated every stat you could measure. His earned run average was an astonishing 2.21. His whip stayed below .9, and he struck out 241 batters across 195 innings. The kind of production that doesn't just make headlines, it changes games and shifts the balance for any team lucky enough to have him. Now, the Detroit Tigers are in an interesting spot. They want to contend, they want to compete in the American League, and they recognize that Skubal is a cornerstone of that effort. But here's the twist. Contract extension talks have hit a serious wall. The Tigers reportedly offered less than $80 million for 4 years, and that figure left a massive gap between the two sides. Skubal's value in the market is astronomical, potentially higher than any other pitcher available right now. And it makes you wonder, could Detroit really pass up the opportunity to leverage that value if the right offer came along? Despite all this, the Tigers remain firm publicly, insisting that Skubal is part of their immediate future, that he is integral to their push to get back into the playoff mix, and that they plan to contend at a high level next season. But anyone who follows baseball closely knows how quickly things can pivot once winter meetings roll around and trade discussions heat up behind closed doors. The Dodgers, meanwhile, sit in a position of strength. Their rotation is already formidable, headlined by Yoshihiro Yamamoto, the World Series' most valuable player, alongside Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glass, and emerging arms like Roy Sasaki, Gavin Stone, and River Ryan, all poised to make an impact in spring training. But that doesn't mean a pitcher like Skubal wouldn't make sense for Los Angeles. Injuries can strike at any time, and depth in starting pitching has proven invaluable. Adding a player of Skubal's caliber wouldn't just bolster the rotation. It would create a lineup capable of challenging for another championship in the most dominant way possible. Even with such an already talented roster, having a back-to-back Cy Young winner could tip the scales in critical games and provide a psychological edge over rival teams. Trade scenarios, of course, are never simple. Detroit is likely to demand a steep price, and for good reason. Skubal is not only an elite pitcher, but he's also at a stage in his career where teams recognize both the value and potential longevity he brings. The Dodgers would need to weigh the investment carefully, considering what they might give up in prospects or players like Tyler Glass, who could themselves contribute meaningfully to the rotation. But beyond that, the strategic advantage of acquiring someone who can dominate for multiple seasons may outweigh the cost. Skubal's metrics, his consistency, and his ability to handle high-pressure situations are almost unparalleled. His ground ball and barrel percentages, while they might look average on paper, barely matter when you consider how rarely opposing batters get solid contact against him. He controls games with velocity, movement, and precision, and he can make any hitter in the league look out of place in crucial moments. It's also worth noting that while the Dodgers may not be the first team linked to him, they're certainly near the top of the list of potential landing spots. Teams like the Mets, Orioles, Yankees, Red Sox, and Giants are also in the conversation, all with the financial resources and competitive windows to make it happen. But for Los Angeles, there's an added layer of intrigue. Their current rotation already gives them a championship-caliber foundation, which means a move for Skubal wouldn't be about necessity. It would be about maximizing potential and making a statement across the league. Even just the possibility of adding someone with back-to-back Cy Young awards to an already formidable staff sends a clear signal that the Dodgers are willing to pursue excellence at every level. Looking at Skubal himself, his age is an interesting factor. Turning 30 after the 2026 season, he's entering a phase where durability and consistency remain incredibly high, but teams also start factoring in long-term sustainability. Can he maintain this elite level for multiple seasons? History suggests elite pitchers like him often do, but it's a question front offices consider seriously when negotiating trades or extensions. From a Dodgers perspective, acquiring him now could mean the flexibility to extend his contract if desired, or simply to utilize his talents for immediate playoff runs, knowing that long-term considerations can be addressed later. The calculus involves risk, reward, and timing, all coming together in what could be one of the most talked-about trades of the season. And then there's the market itself. Skubal is widely regarded as one of the most valuable pitchers potentially available in the league, and if Detroit believes that the extension talks are going nowhere, the leverage shifts dramatically. Offers from contending teams could include a combination of top prospects, young talent, and established players, giving the Tigers a unique opportunity to reshape their roster while still maintaining competitiveness. For the Dodgers, this is where strategy meets opportunity. Balancing the cost of acquisition against the value of having someone of Skubal's talent is a delicate dance, but one that could pay enormous dividends if handled correctly. Fans in Los Angeles can only imagine the impact. More strikeouts, more dominant outings, and the sense that their pitching staff could be truly untouchable come postseason time. The dynamics of this potential trade are fascinating because it's not just about Skubal's statistics or accolades. It's about timing, contracts, and the alignment of team needs. Detroit wants to contend, Los Angeles wants to maximize its championship window, and Skubal sits at the intersection of both. He's a generational talent whose presence can change the outlook of any rotation, and his availability introduces a level of strategic thinking that makes following the offseason as thrilling as watching the playoffs themselves. How far will Detroit push in holding on to him? How aggressive will Los Angeles be in pursuing the deal? Every report, every rumor, every statistical deep dive feeds into a larger narrative, building anticipation for what could be a truly transformative move for the Dodgers organization. Even for casual fans, the story of Tarik Skubal is compelling because it's about excellence meeting opportunity. The blend of elite performance, peak career timing, and potential organizational impact makes him the kind of player who sparks conversation, analysis, and excitement across the league. Whether he remains in Detroit or finds a new home in Los Angeles, his career trajectory and the choices surrounding him will be closely watched. The Dodgers, with their already impressive rotation, would be adding a player capable of redefining the competition, a pitcher who can carry them through the toughest stretches of the season, and a player whose presence alone changes how opposing teams prepare and strategize. And so, as the offseason heats up, all eyes remain on Skubal. The Detroit Tigers' stance, the Dodgers' potential moves, and the calculations behind contract talks, trade value, and competitive windows are all in play. Every report fuels speculation. Every statistic provides context, and every analysis opens the door to new possibilities. It's a chess match at the highest level of baseball, and Tarik Skubal is right at the center of it, with the potential to make history once again, whether it's maintaining his dominance in Detroit or stepping onto the mound in a Dodgers uniform, ready to make his mark in the National League and continue building his legacy as one of the premier pitchers of this generation. Now, as we dive deeper into the possibilities surrounding Tarik Skubal and the Dodgers, it's important to think about the implications beyond just the rotation. Adding a pitcher of his caliber doesn't simply strengthen the starting five. It reshapes how a team approaches strategy, bullpen usage, and even offensive support. When you have a back-to-back Cy Young winner on the mound, it changes the psychology of a game. Batters approach at-bats differently. Managers adjust their lineups, and opposing teams have to consider scenarios they wouldn't normally face against an average pitcher. It's not just about strikeouts or earned run average. It's about the ripple effect that such dominance has across the field. For the Dodgers, already positioned as one of the top teams in the National League, acquiring someone like Skubal would elevate their rotation to almost untouchable status, making them a true nightmare for contenders when the postseason rolls around. The conversation doesn't stop at just performance metrics, though. There's also the question of timing and market strategy. Detroit's hesitation on contract extensions indicates a fundamental crossroads. The Tigers are in a strong competitive window and want to contend next season, but if they remain too rigid, they risk losing leverage on a player who could command an extraordinary return. The Dodgers, along with other teams, are watching closely, analyzing what combination of prospects, young talent, and proven players might finally convince Detroit to part ways with Skubal. There's a fine balance here. Offer too little, and the Tigers hold firm. Offer too much, and you risk overextending resources or impacting the roster's long-term balance. The front office discussions happening behind closed doors are as intense as any playoff series. And for fans, the anticipation builds with every reported update. From Los Angeles' perspective, this is also a question of roster construction and depth. While the Dodgers have a rotation that already features elite arms like Yoshi Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, and Blake Snell, injuries are unpredictable, and the postseason often demands pitchers to go deeper and more frequently than the regular season. Adding Skubal could allow the team to rotate strategically, keep their stars fresh, and provide insurance against any unexpected setbacks. Furthermore, acquiring someone of Skubal's talent might also provide flexibility in the bullpen, allowing relievers to be deployed in high-leverage situations without overextending the starters. Every angle of preparation, every strategic calculation would shift once a pitcher like Skubal steps into the Dodgers' rotation, and that's part of what makes this potential move so tantalizing for fans and analysts alike. It's also fascinating to consider the culture and impact within the clubhouse. Skubal's presence alone could elevate the confidence and performance of younger pitchers coming up through the system. Having someone who has succeeded at the highest levels, who has mastered both mechanics and mental toughness, can serve as a mentor, a role model, and a standard-bearer for excellence. Players like Tyler Glass, Roy Sasaki, and Gavin Stone could benefit immensely from working alongside a pitcher who has dominated the league, absorbing lessons on preparation, strategy, and execution. This kind of influence extends beyond the stat sheet. It shapes the mindset of a team, fostering a culture of winning and resilience that can carry over into critical games when the stakes are highest. Of course, the other piece of the puzzle is the financial and contract side. Skubal is entering his 30s, a time when elite pitchers are still highly productive, but front offices begin to weigh long-term sustainability. The Dodgers would need to structure any deal carefully, considering options for extensions, incentives, or performance-based clauses. It's not just about bringing him in. It's about maximizing value while protecting the organization from future risk. But given the potential impact on championship contention, many would argue that the rewards far outweigh the risks. In baseball, as in life, sometimes you have to make bold moves to achieve historic results. And this is one of those moments where calculated aggression could pay monumental dividends. The trade rumors themselves create their own momentum. Fans speculate endlessly, media outlets debate potential scenarios, and every statistic from Skubal's past seasons is analyzed in obsessive detail. The discussion spans everything from strikeout rates and earned run averages to ground ball percentages and opponent batting averages. Analysts break down every pitch, every velocity reading, every situational performance. It becomes a full-scale evaluation of talent, potential, and fit. And for the Dodgers, the intrigue lies in how they might leverage this data to structure the most competitive team possible. Every fan watching knows that adding a back-to-back Cy Young winner changes not just the rotation, but the perception of the team across the league. Suddenly, the Dodgers aren't just a strong contender. They're a team that could dominate every inning, every game, and every series they enter. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Whispers around Major League Baseball have been heating up, and the latest buzz has fans of the Dodgers practically buzzing with anticipation. Sources close to the inner circles of baseball operations are hinting at what could be one of the most electrifying moves in recent memory. The Dodgers might be welcoming a new sensation to their pitching rotation, a player being dubbed the new Kershaw. The name generating all the chatter? Paul Skenes. Skenes, who has been turning heads with his remarkable performances in the minors and on scouting reports, is being talked about as a generational talent. Comparisons to Clayton Kershaw are being made cautiously but persistently, largely because of Skenes' pitching mechanics, composure on the mound, and uncanny ability to dominate hitters with a mix of power and precision. Scouts reportedly describe him as someone who not only has the raw stuff to challenge any lineup, but also the mental toughness to thrive under the immense pressure of the majors, a quality that has made Kershaw a legend in Los Angeles. The rumors suggest that the Dodgers' front office has been quietly maneuvering to make room for this rising star, seeing in him the potential to redefine their pitching staff for years to come. The excitement isn't limited to management. Insiders say players in the clubhouse are already buzzing about the possibility of sharing the mound with someone who could step into a leadership role almost immediately. The comparisons to Kershaw are as flattering as they are intimidating, and it seems everyone wants to see if Skenes can live up to the lofty expectations that come with such a label. What makes this story even more tantalizing is the timing. With the Dodgers constantly balancing veteran talent and promising newcomers, the addition of Skenes could signal a shift in strategy, one that blends immediate competitiveness with a long-term vision. Fans, of course, are speculating wildly. Social media is rife with hypothetical rotations, opening day dreams, and debates over how soon Skenes might make his debut. The narrative almost writes itself. A young phenom stepping into a legacy of greatness, potentially carving out his own chapter in the storied history of Dodgers pitching. While no official confirmation has been made, the murmurs alone have sparked a frenzy, with every sports show, podcast, and forum dissecting the possibility of Skenes becoming the next face of Dodgers pitching. If these rumors hold any weight, the baseball world may be on the cusp of witnessing the emergence of a true superstar, someone fans might one day speak of in the same breath as the legends of the game. For now, the speculation continues, and the Dodgers faithful are left with a tantalizing question. Could Paul Skenes really be the next Kershaw? That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.